We talk a lot about trade tensions. A lot of it appears to be noise, depending on who you ask. But for the Fed, is it noise? Is this a central bank that is determined to go twice more this year and then a couple of times more next year?
Oh, I think so. I think it's baked in the cake that, they're going to raise rates on Wednesday, and I think they'll guide us to expect an additional rate increase in December. As it relates to trade, they haven't seen a big impact in terms of any slowing of economic activity. And away from trade, economic activity is accelerated. So I think they're more than convinced that they need to get to a neutral Fed funds rate. They've been stating, Jay Powell in particular, has stated that the economy is so strong it needs no additional support or stimulus from the Fed.
Well, I suppose the question would be that at what point in the growth cycle are we? We're late cycle. Just how late in the cycle? And, potentially, do you see, I guess, a surprising effect on inflation from these trade tensions or trade wars? And how does that inform policymaking?
Yeah, I think the real wild card is if they're going to go beyond neutral. If they start talking about that they see an increase in inflation beyond 2%, which we are calling for. We think inflation next year could be as high as 2.5%, just given the scarcity in labor and some of the other things we're seeing in the producer price index data that eventually leads into higher CPI. So they're probably going to feel out, how will the market react if they start talking about going above 3%? They hinted at the need for that at the last Fed meeting minutes. So that might come out tomorrow during the press conference. I think that'd be a little bit of a surprise, but it's tough to tell because if it looks like they're too soft on inflation, then, that'll spook the bond market. If it looks like they're too hard, it may send the stock market down. So they have to walk this tightrope, if you will, to get it just right. And so even though it's widely expected that they'll raise rates on Wednesday, it doesn't mean it's not going to be a volatile day.